Alright, here we are, inside Durgan's battery.
Of course.
Worker says some halls collapsed. Really? What happened? Worker says we opened the West Tower. Didn't know there would be so many skuldrak. We've made progress. Lard, strict pots and dirty cups are stacked next to a note. I cook, you wash. Warm drippings simmer at the bottom of this pot. The battery still holds many riches, says a worker. Korbal. This dwarf gives you a quick nod as he smears the grease and soot from his fingers on his apron. A copper chain dangling from his ear sparkles red in the firelight. Korbal says, I know who you are. Wouldn't be in this place if it weren't for you. Korbal rubs the chain on his ear, flashing a half smile. What can I do for you? Aris asks. What is it that you do here? Korbal says, I'm running the excavation of the lower levels and everything else around here. Supplies, the kitchen, quarters. When you need something, you come to me. Aris says, I want to see the stores. Korbal says, let's get to it. Korbal says, good seeing you, what's on your mind? Aris says, farewell.
I'll handle this. It's done.
Old God's key. This heavy iron key has survived the years intact and free of rust. Worker says they ran away like the tower was on fire. The cowards. Wengra's none too happy. You a warrior now? Let me know when you head up to fight the monsters. Korbal oversees the supplies in the common room. I can't talk to this worker. Is she sleeping or is she sick? Under the pillow are a child's crude charcoal drawings. This must be Lotgar's bed. This must be the drawings of Mila, his daughter, with his wife. What was his wife's name again? Royce, or something like that. This cot smells smoky. It's stained with black powder and ash. Heavy stones block the hall. Let's explore this place. Earlier, we explored this place full of enemies. Now it is under the jurisdiction of stalwarts. and the people of Stalwart are operating this place. I like to see how this place fares. Let's check it out. I have a bad feeling about this. Will I make the workers hostile if I enter this room? No?
Let's see what we found.
Okay. Do not remove any equipment from the armory without permission from Arms Warden Maroon or Captain Gregur. Well, they're all dead now. So, I am guessing the people of Stalwart has somewhat cleaned up this place. The floor looks bright and shiny, unlike before. Heavy stones block the hall. Much work to do, says a worker. You're welcome to rest here, if you don't mind the noise. Okay, before we go further, let's actually handle the business with the cannons first, shall we? Handle the business with the cannons first. Yeah, let's go. Worker says, "It sure is good seeing you. Nobody's been able to push those monsters out of the tower. We're going to make the walls even higher. Hopefully we'll get our hands on the cannons at the top of the west tower. It'll make the Stalwart a safer place." Good to see you around here again. Yeah, of course. These people love to see Aris here again, because they can just ask Aris to do their job for them. West Tower lower.
I'll handle this. It's done.
The workers didn't tell me about the Forged Guardian. Are they trying to make me think that this place is less dangerous? What the heck?
Laying low.
I'll have this open in no time. It's done.
Lever request. This note is written in fine script. The lever for the artillery lift has broken again. I've been telling my men to be as careful as possible while using the lift. But it's difficult to keep your balance on the thing. One bad bump nearly sent a handful of them off the edge, and I'd rather they break a lever to keep their balance than fall off. Unfortunately, it was a clean break this time. We'll need this lever as soon as possible. Scrawled across the bottom in thick ink is an additional note. If your men stop taking up so much ammunition at a time, this wouldn't be a problem. This will be the last lever you ever get. Next time you're just getting a rammer.
Carrying too much weight.
Dwarven lever. A lever you found in the West Tower. A malformed cog is attached to one end. The cannons are coalesced and banded by angular patterns and prayers to Abaddon.
I'll have this open in no time. It's done.
This isn't work!
Carrying too much weight. I'll have this open in no time. It's done.
Andren's notes. Who knew a creature as disgusting as a disease pudding could be so useful? Their ability to not only prevent metals from rusting, but to remove rust entirely, is astounding. I can only imagine what sorts of contraptions we can devise, without having to worry about exposing iron to the elements. As always, I get ahead of myself. Finding these creatures is already a chore. Keeping them properly contained is nearly impossible. I was lucky to acquire what few I have. What creature is this Andren talking about? Hargrun Rust Dissolver. A small label on the side reads, property of A. Thorel, for use on rusted materials only. The term Hargrun refers to the Hargrun dwarves, right? The one who built and ruled this Durgan's battery. So this is the Rust Dissolver. I'm guessing this item is created from the creature that the previous note talked about. So Andren's full name is Andren Thorel. I see. Yellow, gelatinous residue lines the bottom of the broken tube. Yellow? Ugh! What is it? Ocean Master's quarters. Maintenance room. What is this? You peer through the hole and see a wide, sturdy parapet running along the wall. Several feet along the wall, you also see a broad crack. It appears to lead to another room. Look down. Wind whistles by your ears. The peaks of the White March rise below you and continue into the distance. Send someone onto the ledge. Who will go? Aris will. You sidle across the ledge. Again with the human drawing. Aris is an Orlan, not a human. You reach the crack in the wall. A noxious, eye-watering vapor seeps from within. Might 14. Bash through the wall. You pound on the wall, it's taxing work, and by the time the wall starts to give, your shoulder flares with pain. The ancient masonry crumbles away, and a stinging vapor rushes through the breach. You hold your breath and close your eyes, clinging to the wall as the rest of the gas escapes. Enter the room through the widened crack. You continue into the newly cleared room. What is this room? Oh, I could just enter from here. Okay, so these are the creatures that Andren Thorel refers to as the disease pudding. Ah, I see. So the rust dissolver is created from these creatures. Interesting. Patinated cog. A cog you found in the patination chamber. It is coated with a thick layer of yellow slime. Yeah, the disease pudding, I guess, to prevent rusting. These cannons are encrusted with thick, pungent slime. If I can enter from this door, why did Aris had the idea to enter this room from the outer wall? I don't get it. Oh, maybe it allows Aris to, hypothetically, take the cog and then leave through the wall again without having to fight the disease pudding. I see. Round shot smithery.
What's this?
Artillery lift notice. The artillery lift will be closed until further notice. The cogs are rusting, and any failure in the mechanism could be catastrophic. Potion Master Andren is looking into patinating the cogs to make them weatherproof, to protect them from the elements. A map shows the peaks and passes surrounding Durgan's battery. Faded red circles mark choke points. Could be useful to defend against the iron flail. Cannon range key. Under layers of rust, the iron key bears a small inscription, cannon range, on the side. On the treatment and preservation of cannons. This page seems to be from some larger text. We now have a treatment to prevent our prized cannons from rusting outside. Potion Master Andren developed a solution that seals the metal, protecting it from cold air. We've transformed the old armory into a patination chamber, where we can heat the solution into a gas. As the gas suffuses the chamber, it will build up a hard coating on the cannons. After a few weeks, the cannons will be ready for the elements. However, we must be careful around the solution. One of Andren's assistants scalded her throat, just from breathing too close to the stuff. The rest of the manuscripts has fallen apart over time, so it requires weeks to prepare the cannons. With the solution, I see.
Perhaps we should take the stairs.
The stairs? Oh, we are at the lift now. Location discovered, artillery lift. Okay, so Aloth is worried about the lift. Maybe his worry has merit. But do we have any other way? I don't know. The chain is so rusted, it barely moves. Apply the Pargrun Rust Dissolver. You pour the contents of the vial onto the chain. The solvent hisses as it dribbles down, melting the rust into a slick brown puddle. The heavy chain squeaks with movement. Aloth says, "This slot looks like it's missing a lever." Fit the replacement lever into the slot. With a little maneuvering, it clicks into place. Wait, where did I get this dwarven lever? I don't remember. Your new lever protrudes from the slot. Pull the lever? Not yet. There's one more item that was highlighted before. This one. The gearbox looks strangely empty, like it's missing a cog. Upon closer inspection, you see a thin layer of yellow slime coating the gearbox. Insert the new cog. You slot the new cog into place. The mechanism looks ready to run now. Your new lever protrudes from the slot. Pull the lever. The lift at last shudders into motion, lifting you toward the clouds. Oh, we're going up, not down? The lift makes slow jouncing progress. It lurches every few feet, the rusted chains groaning like the dead. Uh-oh. It comes to a trembling stop, and the entire platform swings precariously. A sharp metallic odor emanates from one of the winches. You hear screeching. At first, you think it's coming from the winch, but then you realize it's coming from above. An enormous skuldrak swoops from the shadows. You feel the air from its passage as it whooshes past you. But before you can catch more than a glimpse, it's circling back, searching for you with ear-splitting shrieks. Rustling wings and a heavy musk alert you to the presence of more of the beasts. As they close, the platform continues to sway and bounce. Okay, so all this time I've been fighting skuldrak. I thought they are walkers. I mean creatures who walk. So it turns out they can fly too. I guess flying skuldrak is the goal of their transformation, their growing up, I guess. Make a stand in the center of the platform. The largest skuldrak dives for the middle of the lift. Its screeches turn to hisses as it spews sizzling acid across the platform. It scalds you. Your own scream rings in your ears, and you smell burning flesh. The smaller skuldrak zip past in tighter and tighter circles as they close. Meanwhile, the largest of the bunch is wheeling back, preparing for another attack. Scatter to the edges of the platform and brace for an attack. You split up and dash for opposite sides of the swaying platform. Sagani trips, and the swinging motion sends Sagani tumbling toward the edge. Sagani rolls over the side, but grabs the lip of the platform, barely holding on. Sagani calls for help as the platform tilts downward. Toss a rope to Sagani. Sagani grabs the rope and climbs to safety. You check your own footing and look back to the center of the platform, where the large skuldrak is already descending. The beast dives toward the middle of the platform, spewing acid. Most of it lands on the tiles, where it bubbles and sizzles, but you are caught in the spray. Dang it. The beast glides away and disappears into the shadows overhead. However, the smaller skuldrak land on the platform and advance toward you. Oh, a fight then? On the elevator? I mean lift. Oh my god. Different types of skuldrak. Dang it. Oh, it's not that they're... Ah, okay, I think the flying skuldrak is not the goal of the transformation for skuldrak. It's just that there are different types of skuldrak. The flying ones? Wait a minute. Look at the armpits of the larger skuldraks. They have wings, so I guess all skuldrak can fly? Interesting. West Tower Upper.
Long way down.
Yes, Aloth, don't look down. Alright? Through the gap, you see winding stairs and the dull glint of more cannons. Ah, alright. Oh. Wait a minute. Is that a device like the one in the Heritage Hill district that causes the undead infestation? Is this Angwithan by nature? I'm not sure. Let's check it out.
I have
Dead on!
This isn't working! Ha!
That's one giant skuldrak. It's an elder skuldrak. Okay. Engravings depict the Bargrunen's journey to the White March. Where did they came from earlier? Have I came across any information pertaining to where do the Bargrunen dwarves came from before they arrive in the White March?
I shall.
The cannon is frozen and immobile. What is that creature? You turn the wheel and a gust of steam blasts you in the face. You stagger back and fall, spiraling towards smoke and flame. You find solid ground beneath your feet, even as the air around you is a haze of smoke and heat shimmer, coughing you bad acrid fumes away from your face. As you acclimate to the soot-choked air, you see flames leaping in the distance. Each flare bathes you with warmth, and even as you struggle to pick out the details of this place, something about it seems familiar. Examine your surroundings. You can see little through the thick smoke, but the dancing flames illuminate the dragon's head cast in stone. It's a white forge. As you start toward it, something massive comes crashing down in front of you. You leap back at the sound of metal slamming into metal and feel a deep tone ring through the thick air. Recovering your bearings, you find yourself looking at an enormous hand. It's dark and shiny with heat, but you see every bone, muscle, and tendon working in harmony beneath the bronze flesh. The hand's owner is hidden behind the clouds of smoke, but the hand itself is wrapped around a pole as thick and sturdy as a tree trunk. A giant? Follow the arm. You try to follow the arm to its owner, but the heat and smoke overwhelm you. You turn back. Follow the pole. You continue toward to see what lies at the other end of the pole, and what's responsible for the clangorous music, just as the hand rises again. It swings back down in a perfect arc. A tower of metal smashes down ahead of you, raining sparks and glints of essence as another deep ringing note sounds. You realize that you're looking at an enormous hammer. The head glows with heat and essence, though the purple luster fades as soul energy is sucked from the hammer and into the work under it. Inspect the hammer. It's a block of black steel, as dark as a starless night, and shiny enough that you can see your reflection in it. It's a work of art itself, a study of simple yet perfect design. Get a closer look at the work. As the hammer rises once more, you dart forward to see what lies beneath it. A lone figure sprawls on an expanse of steel, as smooth and broad as lake ice. The figure itself is enormous, a Mike folk of twisted flesh and forged metal. Its arms end in two spiked clubs, and its head is a blunt, eyeless wedge. Huh. It opens its mouth and keens. The desperation in that noise reminds you of a newborn's fear and confusion. Air rushes at your back. You look up and see the hammer, its head once more glowing with essence, speeding toward you. You awaken to the sensation of warm tiles beneath your face. You are prone before the boiler, which drones on, pushing heat through the tower floor. But in the vapor that pulses from the boiler and pipes, you smell the fumes of the white forge. Return to Wengra outside Durga's...
I think I can almost feel one of my toes again.
Yeah, Eder. Because of the heat, me too. So what is that eyeless thing? So the hammer created that eyeless thing. From here, you can access any level within the battery. Where would you like to go? Go to the West Tower, I guess? No. Go to the Great Hall. Really? Okay, let's try it. Go to the Great Hall. No, go to the front gates.
That was incredible! Whole forge spit flames when you did whatever you did. And the smoke! Ha! I saw it from here!
Glad to see your enthusiasm again, Wengra.
And now to see about these cannons.
Wengra rubs her hands together. She starts for the door, but then she remembers something.
This is for you. Found it while we were cleaning out the battery.
Ari says, I have a few questions for you. Wengra says, what's on your mind? Aris asks, now, how do these cannons work?
If only I could show you.
Wengra frowns. Why can't you show me? Is it a secret? I'm the Lord of Kaitnua, you know. I mean, Aris is.
But everyone else is all worried about accidents and injuries. So they've said I can't fire him until there's a real need.
Ah, I see. Okay, farewell.
I'm headed up the tower. Gonna make those cannons shine.
Wengra skips toward the door. She's so enthusiastic about these cannons. Perhaps she might be interested in Aris's cannon, if you know what I mean. Lodgar says, I shouldn't talk too long or I'll get an earful. He glances over his shoulder. Alright. Go to the top of the west tower. Yeah, let's see. Is Wengra there? Oh yeah, where is Nesta? Is she in the White Forge? Waiting for Aris to come visit her and negotiate about this place? Okay, these are the workers, yeah? Let's talk to them. Let's talk to Wengra first.
You got a real purposeful look about you.
Aris says farewell. Heat rises
That's
from...
Kulmar's complaint.
What? Heat rises from the pipes below. The cannon feels warm. Oh, look at this hose, connecting the cannon with the device in the center. Could it be that this device feeds the cannon with ammunition from down below? Maybe the device feeds the cannon with molten core, and then the cannon shoots the molten core. Ah, so there is no need for people to reload the cannon ammunition. It is fed directly from the device. Interesting.
Those three? They're... I forgot. I named those after Maja and Min... That's Hafrik. I'm calling that one.
Oh, is she naming? Oh, she's naming. Okay, so every time Aris interacts with the cannon, Wengra speaks. So she's naming these cannons. That's cute. Let's start from this one.
That one's Karadmar the Elder.
Karadmar the Elder. Alright. What about this one?
That's Karadmar the Younger.
What the heck? Karadmar the Elder? Karadmar the Younger?
I'm calling that one Fat Ingle Road until someone tells me not to.
Fat Ingle Road. Is Ingle Road the name of one of your workers? I think so. Or maybe one of your superiors down in the White Forge. Right? Someone that you dislike, perhaps?
I'm calling that one Fat Ingle Road until someone tells me not to.
Or maybe you don't even hate him or her. It's just a term of endearment that you have for them, perhaps.
That's Hafrik's nose. Don't tell him.
Hyferic's nose so big then?
I named those after Maja and Minoletta.
Minoletta. That's the name of one of the Archmage, right? Concelhout mentioned several names. One of the name is Minoletta.
Those three? They're... I forgot. That's Kulmar's complaint.
Ulmar's, oh yeah, the guy who almost lost his leg. Okay. Okay. I like her enthusiasm. I wonder what it feels like to work in a place like this, you know? This majestic place. This guy's freezing. Oh. Okay, so I guess the west lower tower is not cleaned up yet. Alright, no reason for me to explore this place then. Let's go to the Great Hall. Wait, what? Wait, what is it? Am I going back up again? I wanted to use the lever. Oh yeah, back up again. Oh, a shortcut to White Forge? Okay, Feast Hall. Oh, it's a trolley to White Forge, alright. Worker says, hand me one of those. Quarterfoot will do, but make sure it's not rusted. I'll look. If not, Corbal should have something that'll work. Corbal. The battery still holds many riches, says the worker. They say you cleared the West Tower. Yeah, Aris did. Now, where's my reward? Worker says, wish I could have seen you deal with those monsters. Yeah. I wish you've seen how Aris and his companions cleared the West Tower. It was magnificent. Maybe next time, yeah? Black powder, handle with care. Wheels and levers from minecarts lay scattered. Black powder, handle with care. A bronze statue of Abaddon stands over incense ash and rusted metal tokens. Oh, okay. So this path is blocked, I just realized. So the only way to go down to the White Forge is using the cart. Let's go see. I wonder if Nesta is down there. Nesta, Nesta. Oh, 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 oh. Heavy stones block the hole. Okay, so the other areas are closed off then. I can only access the Great Hall and the White Forge. Nowhere else. I see. Worker says heat's almost unbearable down here. Are you in heat right now? The White Forge keeps us warm. Oh, this is Nesta? Nesta says, so, this is the fabled White Forge, very impressive. I know several smiths in Crucible Keep who would dearly love to be standing where I am right now. How long were the souls of those Pargrunen bound here anyway? Centuries? Releasing them back to the will was probably for the best. These smiths working the forge, though, what are their qualifications? Who trained them? Surely the forge isn't being used as effectively as it could be. I think it would be more profitable for everyone if Crucible Keep trained smiths were brought in to run things here. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, Aris Mittal's intention is to keep the Crucible Knights as far away from here. Because if the Crucible Knights manage to gain a foothold here and solidify their base of operation, in the future, this place might fall under the control of Defiance Bay, while Aris's intent is to make Stalwart loyal to Kite Nua. I must not allow the Crucible Knights or the Crucible Smiths to gain a foothold in Stalwart or in Durgan's battery. Aris says, there will be nothing but conflict if that happens. The people of Stalwart don't like outsiders telling them what to do. Nesta says, perhaps I'll bring up the matter to Tarfos then. No, maybe I should be deceptive. Nesta says, all that's left to do is write up a draft of the trade agreement with the terms and conditions we've agreed upon. Okay, I wanted to choose the deceptive option, but I was not sure. Okay, I hate this. My gut feeling told me to use the deceptive option. But I denied my own gut feeling. I hate this.
Indeed.
Eye-watering heat wafts from the mouth of the White Forge. The surface of the anvil hums with power. It's warm to the touch. Known recipes. Wheels and levers from minecarts lay scattered.
I'll handle this. It's done.
Aris says, the White Forge only works for descendants of dwarves from the battery. You knew that, right? Yeah, let's be deceptive. I can't allow the Crucible Knights to gain a foothold here. They're going to intervene with my plan to make, hopefully, it is possible to make Stalwart loyal to the Lord of Kainua, Thine Arismital. Nesta says, what, really? I guess that does make sense. I'll make sure to pass that along. Good. Nesta says, all that's left to do is write up a draft of the trade agreement with the terms and conditions we've agreed upon and present a copy to Tarfos. It'll still be a few months before the final agreement can be signed, but we've made great progress here. Nesta bows. I appreciate the escort, Arismital. Farewell. Stay here. Alright, let's go back to Tarfos. Return to Tarfos. Let's check out the East Tower, yeah? The crumbling edge of this long platform suggests that there were once stairs leading down from here, perhaps joining with the pathway some distance below. It seems a manageable jump from here, on this side, but you doubt you would be able to return the same way. Jump across. You leap, and for a dizzying moment, the ground below flashes past. And then you are across the gap and upon the second tower. Oh, the road is blocked? Alright. I guess there's nothing left to do but to go back to, what, Stalwart? Villager says, Tarfos isn't a bad mayor, but I like having Renengild in charge. Yeah, too bad she doesn't have the energy to do all the mayor stuff. Tarfo says, Arismital, Nesta presented me with the terms of the trade agreement. I guess we're keeping the fishery open after all. Funny, Nesta had mentioned something earlier about the investors wanting to shut it down. Can't say I disagree with them, either. Looks like she didn't have much else to say about the mines beyond what we'd already discussed. Good. She didn't mention any changes to the White Forge portion, Strange. She'd been hinting that she didn't think our local smiths were all that skilled. I guess you convinced her otherwise, huh? Yes, because it's Aris' plan to not let the Crucible Knights gain a foothold here. It will be counterproductive to Aris' desire to make stalwart falls under the jurisdiction of Kaidnua. Tarfos says, all things considered, the trade agreement is better than anything I could have negotiated. I'll sign this and have it set off to Defiance Bay first thing. Oh, Nesta left this for you. She said it had helped her in a previous line of work. Tarfos hands you a bundle of cloth. Thanks again, Aris Mittal, says Tarfos. Tax collector's mantle, what? Risk tolerance. Asuka says, looking for work? I know we've got plenty to do around here. Aris says, the Redwater Lagufayth won't trouble anyone anymore. Asuka says, I'll tell our farmers they can sleep soundly. Here's the reward, as promised. Aris says, Brinlod has been taken care of. Asuka says, I'll be danged. I didn't think you had it in you. I'll let the Fangs know. I'll be danged. I didn't think you had it in you. I'll let the Fangs know. Why? Why did you think Aris doesn't have it in him? He's the one who reactivated the White Forge. He's the one who slay the Ice Dragon in the, in the area of this region. I forgot the name of the place. He slayed the Ice Dragon, and he's also the one who slayed the Adra Dragon. He also defeated what was the name of that noble that tried to take over Kaidnua? Tassin? I don't remember. Yeah. And also the slayer of one of the Archmage, Consalhaut. Of course Aris and his companions have it in them. Asuka says, here's the reward, as promised. Asuka says, looking for work? I know we've got plenty to do around here. Wait, leave? No more work? Alright.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Farewell. Tell me.
Yes?
She bade him come down from his palace in the sky. Her love could
Villager says, I should have left town with all my neighbors. Why?
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Top quality bear pelts on every bed.
You awaken and hear someone stirring, growling. Looking over, you see Maneha twitching and muttering in her sleep. You can't make out what she's saying, but from her bare teeth and the sheen of sweat on her brow, this seems like a very bad dream. Aris says, "Wake up, Maneha." Maneha sits bolt upright, roaring and reaching for her weapon. Aris decks Maneha. Your punch lands squarely on Maneha's jaw.
What have Oh!
Maneha's gaze darts around, but slowly focuses on you. She grimaces and looks away, wiping her face.
Oh, sorry. I must have been dreaming.
Maneha lies back down and turns away from you. So Aris Mittal is an equal opportunity puncher, yeah? He doesn't care whether it's a woman or a man. You can't help but notice how carefully she's avoiding your gaze. Why, is she shy? Aris asks about what?
No, it's nothing. Sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you.
Maneha pulls her blanket over her shoulders. Aris says, "You aren't bothering me, but something's clearly bothering you. I'd like to help." Aris with a smooth talk. Maneha's quiet for a long time. It seems like she's already gone back to sleep, but then she sighs.
You told me about your awakening.
Aloth stirs. Maneha waits silently until Aloth rolls over and resumes deep, steady breaths.
I guess I've had a similar problem. There's something I remember from a former life. Happened hundreds of years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
Aris asks, "How did you remember it?"
Happened while I was fighting in Old Valia 20 years ago. My unit was camped out in the palace we'd just taken. The others were roasting the last of the Marcheso's pigs in the feast hall. So I went to the wine cellars to fetch a few bottles.
Maneha works her fingers into a knot.
I don't know how long she'd been hiding there, but there was this old woman. Must have been one of the servants.
Maneha's fingers curl into fists.
She had this wild look in her eyes. I approached her and tried to tell her not to be afraid, that she was safe.
Maneha holds out her hand, reliving the memory.
She screamed and grabbed my arm.
Maneha closes her eyes.
It felt like someone had hit me in the back of my head. I blacked out for a few minutes, and when I came to, she was gone.
Aris says, go on.
I took a few bottles up with me, feasted with the rest of the troops. But when I went to bunk, I had a dream.
Maneha shivers.
Only it was more vivid than any dream I've ever had. I tasted the sweat on my lips, felt the jungle air on my skin, heard the cries.
Maneha stops and swallows, shaking her head. What else did you taste on your lips? And what else did you swallow, Maneha? Aris asks, what about the older woman?
I asked the other troops. None of them had seen her. Anyway, I laid off the drink for several days, but I kept having the dream. After a few weeks, I thought a change of scenery might do me good. Since then, I've been a pirate in the Deadfire, a pilgrim in the White that Wends, an adventurer in the Living Lands, and a gift-bearer in a Shamadal.
Maneha gives you a rueful smile. So why is she so nonchalantly tell me that she's a pirate or she was a pirate? If the wrong people heard that, she might be reported to the authorities. Maybe she had done something unforgivable during her pirate days, right? And she was a gift bearer in Ishamital. Hey, it's Aris's homeland. Aris says, that's why you're really going to the Abbey of the Fallen Moon, to forget it. Maneha nods.
There's a pool there, the Salt Well. It's where gift-bearers leave the heaviest burdens.
Maneha pauses.
It's said that a person can enter it and leave their own memories behind.
There's a distant, hungry look in Maneha's eyes. Aris Mittal says, and you would leave this haunting memory in the Salt Well.
That's the plan.
Aris Mittal asks, what if you lose more than you intend?
At this point, I'd gladly give up all my memories if that's what it takes for peace in this life and the next.
Maneha laughs. I wish this Salt Well is real. I need to erase some of my memories. But maybe I don't want to. My memories are the things that make me who I am today. I'm not proud of myself, but at least it shaped how I think. My views. Do I really want to lose that self? I'm not sure. Aris Mittal says, I wanted to ask you about something. Maneha says, what you got for me? Aris Mittal says, tell me why you really became a gift bearer. Maneha says, I heard about the order from some missionaries while I was in the Living Lands. I'd heard Ondra's doctrine before, but the way they talk about the peace of forgetting, washing the old away with the tide. It sounded good, and gift bearers' work taking to the road, helping people lose their own burdens. That sounded good too. Kept hoping I'd find a way for me to lose my burden along the way. That's all for now.
Uh-huh.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Of course. Yes?
The Iron Flail has folk up in arms about foreigners, and not just raid Sarens. I'm hoping everyone will settle down once they're dealt with.
Arian gives you a tight frown.
Haven't been here long, but I'll tell you what I can.
Tarfos says yes. Tarfos looks as frazzled as ever. Okay. Whoa, what is this? The foundry? What? There's a new map here. Oh, okay. It's below Durgan's battery. Alright. Let's go to Iron Flail Fort. Oh, it's dark. I don't like this. It's scary. But have no fear. Arismetal is here. Wait, what? Iron Flail Gunner. The soldiers watch you warily as you approach. Once you're within speaking distance, one of them gestures with his pistola. That's far enough. What are you doing here? You lost? Aris says, sorry, didn't mean to intrude. Iron Flail Gunner says, you're trespassing. Lucky for you, I'm nice enough not to tell you so. Best you turn around. Aris asks, why is there a fort out here? Gunner says, why else? We're to take the battery. Once the siege engines are complete, Adarik hoped to convince Talwart to negotiate peaceful terms. He was wrong to trust them. Aris asks, but why are you here? Gunner says, Adarik has said that there will be a great battle. We are here to hold the pass and defend Reat Seras. He has seen this in a dream. Wait, what? So the Reat Seras are here because of a dream? Just like how Aris was led back to this place because of a dream. Is this some kind of a trick? Someone wants Aris, or someone wants Kite Nua and Stalwart to fight a war against Reaceros? Really? Maybe a cipher influencing our dreams. But Aris is a watcher. A watcher is supposed to be greater than a cipher, right? And how could a watcher be influenced by a cipher? It doesn't make sense. Aris asks, he had a vision? Gunnar says, just what he has seen in his own concern. Adarik leads us well, we don't question his orders. You've asked more than enough questions. Go on, get out of here. I won't warn you again.
They wouldn't be so tough without their fort. Or their army.
Of course I did, of course. Oh no! Dang it!
Ulu. Then.
Got ganged. Wait, to the left of Aris, is that pikes? Ah, ramparts with pikes.
What's this?
Tattered note. Had to stash the delivery. This place is crawling with soldiers. Tell Owina I'll make it up to her. Wait, Owina? I think I've heard this name before. Who is Owina? Have I heard this name before, or am I imagining things? Owina. I think I've heard this name before. Owina. The devastation to the surrounding forest stretches near to the horizon. Devastation? Well, I guess the iron flail cutting down these trees to create the fort. The pikes and the walls, I guess. Such carelessness. No one is even patrolling this side of the wall. That's why Aris is here. They're not doing a good job patrolling the walls.
Here, I brought you a scarf.
Oh, thanks, Mariel.
Mariel, idle soldier, what is this? Oh, a love affair between an iron flail soldier with a villager. The question is, from which village she came from? Stalwart or another village? Let's check it out.
Let's see what we found.
Idle soldier says, I can explain. Wait, who are you? Villager says, you are that lord from Kaitnua, aren't you? The woman's cheeks are rosy with embarrassment. What are you doing here? Aris says, calm down. I'm not here to hurt anyone. Says Aris. Meanwhile, he has killed several soldiers. Well, to Aris' defense, the soldiers attack first, so yeah. Idle soldier says, well, what are you here for? You're liable to get fed to the dogs if the patrols catch you. Aris asks, what are you two up to? Idle soldier says, too cold to get up to anything. Sagani says, young people have no imagination these days. Oh, Sagani, teach them the ways of your passion. With your, what's your husband's name again? I forgot. Was it Kalu? Kaluk? I don't know. I forgot. Villager says, stealing some time away is all. No harm in that, is there? She giggles. Aris asks, are you here with that army? Idle soldier says, no, we're just villagers. Aris asks, aren't you afraid of getting caught? Idle soldier squirms, please just keep it down. Alec maybe sleep on duty, but he's not the only one around. Aris asks, do you know anything about the delegates from Stalwarts? Idle soldier says, just the obvious. They didn't do a good job of negotiating. I hope they're alive. Idle soldier says, the commander's been in a fury for the past week. It's not like him. Aris asks, what can you tell me about the commander? Wait, what happened to the negotiators? Are they still alive? Or are they dead? Aris asks, what can you tell me about the commander? Idle soldier says, the commander, his eyes brighten. He pulled the iron flail together himself. He's a good man. He believes in Reaceras more than anyone. He gave us our pride back, told us to keep faith. Sometimes I think the vigilance speaks through him. Villager says, careful. He'll go on for hours if you let him. Aris asks, consorting with the enemy? Villager says, no need to be so dramatic. We aren't hurting anyone. Besides, Gamel here seems pretty reasonable. Wait. Gamel? What? What? Wait, aren't Gamel the miner, whose mine was affected by the spore. Back in the Stalwart's mine, who was accused of murdering Sameth. So why is Gamel here as a soldier of Reatzeran? Or perhaps they are two different people. It just so happened they share the same name. Yeah, I think so. Aris says, I need to speak to the commander. Idle Soldier says, can't help you. And I don't just mean that they'd string me up for it. If you'd come before the delegates arrived, you might have had a chance. As it is, it looks like we're in for a fight, and the commander's not taking any risks. I'm not supposed to be out here. Villager says, makes 3 of us, right? Yeah, well, not 3 of us. 6 plus 2 makes 8 of us. Alright, Aris won't do anything to you two, alright? Just make sure that you don't get in Aris' way, and also make sure that you, soldier, you're not doing anything to this citizen of Stalwart, and you're not using her as an advantage to gain access to Stalwart or something like that. Alright? I trust you. And you, girl, do you really trust this man? Do you really trust that he's not going to use you for his mission? If not, then yeah, it's up to you. But be careful. Aris says, farewell. Idle Soldier says, take care. Now, where were we? A group of delegates was dispatched to negotiate, but they have not returned. Idle Soldier says, still around? You're taking your chances with the patrols. Aris asks, do you know anything about the delegates from Stalwarts? Idle Soldier says, just the obvious. They didn't do a good job of negotiating. The commander's been in a fury for the past week. It's not like him. Take care now. Where were we? Like its neighbors, this gravestone holds only a hastily scratched name. Okay, take note of this highlighted wall. We'll check it later. Oh no. Space, Papa. Space, Enga. You're dead. Oh. More spies, get him. I'm not a spy. I'm not a spy. Iron Flail soldier says, I don't know why Adarik trusts you, but he does, so welcome. Wait, what? You're the watcher we've heard of? Do you hear voices? Okay. We'd be sure to win with you on our side. Win against what? I'm not siding with you against the stalwart. Do you and the commander know each other? Wait. Do we know each other? Adarik and Aris? I won't warn you again. Okay, I made a mistake. I shouldn't... Intruders! Keep them from the gates. Dang it. Sneaker. They're hungry. They want the snack. Aris Mittal. These logs seem recently cut, and from their size they once numbered amongst the older trees surrounding the pass. Just ahead of you, the gates to the fort remain shut fast. You spy archers moving along the tops of the watchtowers, scanning the surroundings, and the chill breeze carries the scent of burning pitch. Leave it for now. Alright? Heavy wooden gate bars entry to the fort. Armored figures skulk the periphery of the flanking towers, bearing tall longbows. It would take considerable force to stage a frontal assault upon the fort. Inspect the gate. Though not a permanent structure, the fort appears remarkably sturdy. These walls could easily delay an intruding force, long enough for the fort's inhabitants to rally a defense. Oh, I can call down a cannon strike from Durgan's battery? Okay, let's not choose this. Let's interact with the highlighted walls to the west of this fort. Let's not use fantastical measures. Observing it from below, you notice that the watchtower at the side gate appears to be unmanned. Oh, so reckless. You find no hostile faces peering over the fence either. The roof of the tower crosses over the fort walls. Climbing it may provide a means of getting inside. At this hour of night, with the chill rolling in, most of the noise within the camp is concentrated by the campfires. A discreet individual could take the opportunity to climb over and open the gate without raising the alarm. Examine the gate. Looking over the outer wall, you notice two posts which have come a little loose from their moorings, forming a gap. While the gap would be too small for larger kith, you suspect that you might just be able to squeeze past or land. Throw a grappling hook up onto the roof. The grappling hook strikes the wooden beam with a disquieting thud. No cries of alarm follow. A few tugs on the rope suggest the hook holds fast. Send someone over the wall. Who will go? Do it yourself. You grip the rope and begin the climb, making your way up into the watchtower. From there, it's a matter of descending the far wall to the ground and once more. You get your first glimpse of the camp, shrouded in the evening's gloom, and of the guard posted some short distance away. A moment's observation reveals the man is snoring, deep asleep. You creep forward to unbar the gate. All right. Hey, what? No!
Hey! Well, hey!
No! Okay. There's no alarm? Alright. How should we proceed then? Should I send Aris alone to find this commander?
I'm here. I shall.
Any word? Says the Iron Flail gunner. More omens. Maybe we made a mistake coming here. Get back to your post. Yes, sir. Oh no! More spies! Get him! What? No!
I'm here. I shall.
A few enterprising individuals have carved crude figures into the wooden logs of the latrine. Oh, is the latrine? No, run, run, run. Ah!
Indeed.
This trebuchet is disassembled but intact. Alright, I'd like to think that the battles in Pillars of Eternity is actually scaled to a miniature, because there is no way that 6 individuals can take on the inhabitants of an entire fort, ready and meant for war. Just like it is impossible for 6 individuals to wipe out the Torn Banner mercenary group. So I like to think that Aris, Mithal and his companions aren't actually traveling by themselves. I like to think that in addition to the 6 individuals that make up Aris's group are actually the key figures of a larger force. A larger force consisting of soldiers from Kait Nua traveling with Aris and his companions in an expedition, you know? Because there's no way 6 individuals can wipe out the whole mercenary group like what happened with the Torn Banner or what happened here right now. No way 6 individuals can take up the whole army of an entire fort. So I'm repeating myself here, but I just like to clarify. I'd like to think that Aris Mithal and his companions actually traveling along with soldiers, with a larger force from Kait Nua. You know, like like a military expedition. And it makes sense because it makes sense. Not only what happened here in the fort and what happened with the Torn Banner mercenary group, but also what happened with Consul Hout. I get the impression that Consul Hout is a very powerful archmage, and there's no way 6 individual can take the archmage down, while a whole mercenary group, which is the Torn Banner, cannot break through Consul Hout's defenses. So it must took an entire force or army or a large force under the command of Aris and his companions to wipe out the Torn Bannerman and then take down the Archmage Consulhout and also take down the Adra Dragon, the Ice Dragon, and now taking on the Iron Flail entire army. That's what I like to think. I like to think that the battle in this game is actually scaled to a miniature. Aris Mittal and his companions represents not only themselves, but also represents the larger force that they are leading in battle. That's what I like to think, in my mind.
Drive them back!
These cots have been recently washed. The dirt and mud beneath them is flecked with darker stains. Blood? Perhaps. You can see the water's dark surface not far below. A peek under the tarp reveals barrels marked as powder stores. This large building must be where the commander is. I'll save it for last. The tents hold little. You spy boots, drying tunics, and a very occasional book.
He won't show him the wit feather yet!
I'm here.
This one guy is brave but foolish. He knew he's outnumbered 6 to 1. He should have retreated and called for help. A simple meal of meat and carrots boiled into a soupy mixture. Simple but nutritious, I guess. A gentle rap elicits a hollow sound. This cask is almost empty.
I'll have this open in no time. It's done.
Hot pitch roils ominously within this deep cauldron. A letter home. My love, I have enclosed some coins from Stalwart, so you have a proof that I arrived. You were right. I am colder than I have ever been, all the more so for being away from you. The Kith here are as cold as their land. They do not hate us as the Dirwoodens do, but they are mistrustful and proud. The commander has sent for delegates to start negotiations. Perhaps by the time this letter reaches you, we will have moved into Durgan's battery. Stalwart has no soldiers, only a handful of guards. Ephraim says he went to look at the battery with some scouts and did not see anyone posted atop the tower. Without those cannons, they would be foolish to do anything but surrender. If not, we're sure to knock the fight out of them quickly. The commander says that once the battery is ours, our presence here alone may be enough to make the invaders think twice. Who would face us with the might of the battery at our backs? I write too much of battle, but only to assure you that we are well. I miss you. The mountains are beautiful. I hold hope that you may see them for yourself once it is safe for you to join us. Ah, such a tragedy. He will never see his love, and his love will never see him. So they say they want the Durgan's battery to defend against the invaders. Who are these invaders? Is it the ones that the commander saw in his dream? Well, the guy that wrote this letter is right. Stalwart has no soldiers. But they did not anticipate that the forces of Kaidnua, led by Arismital and his companions, will be here to assist Stalwart.
Let's see what we found.
This trebuchet is disassembled but intact. There's a good dog, Hound Master.
There's a good dog.
The spigot on this cask exudes a thick chemical stench. Mangled wool skins and straw provide the bedding in this kennel. All of it stinks of dog. Oh, what is this? War pup? A pet? Please listen.
Enough! I've had my fill of... What's this? Steady, men. Our guest has arrived.
The Iron Flail commander is a younger man, lean in build. His brown hair is unkempt, his eyes fevered. At his feet is a grate, set over what appears to be a pit. You hear a smattering of anxious cries, rising from the cell as the commander steps forward. Are those the cries of the negotiators? I hope they're safe and sound.
All that chaos outside. For an instant, I believed you, woman.
Adaric's boot comes down hard on the gate. Woman? Who is he referring to? Aris is a man. Maybe he's referring to one of the negotiators?
But he's only a common assassin.
Adaric looks up at you. Aris says, I'd prefer to settle this peacefully. What? Peacefully? No. Aris says, please, calm yourself. I'm not here to fight. After killing all those soldiers. Right.
But you did fight, all the same. My men were here to fight. We're all here to fight. You want to talk? Set down your...
Adaric's words die in his throat, his expression frozen mid-snarl. It isn't clear what's happened, not until you start to feel it too. Unbidden, your senses drift, as if you had reached out toward a source of essence. You feel an ache in your chest, an almost painful sensation of being pulled forward. A sudden wave of memories floods your mind. Clear as the day they formed, you see Odema's campsite, ravaged by the Beowik, the halls of Kaidnua. In the caverns beneath the keep, the stone around you bellows warnings in a dead language. Deeper still, a fanged maw parts like a wound in the world. The images wash over you, tracing lives and emotions from 100 different times and places. Not all are your own. Slowly you become aware of the sensation of being watched. Reach out. You direct your senses, tracing in the invasion to its source, Adaric. Conviction burns through him, bright as a brazier. For an instant, you share in his emotion, and a sourceless desperation rattles about your skull. Absent context, the fragments of memory you see are just images. A small house across a field of vibrant purple flowers. A sea of armored kith and flapping banners, waiting on your command. There's an uncomfortable moment where you feel your twin awareness turning in on itself, and then the connection is severed. Adaric looks startled, his face ashen. Aris says, that's never happened before.
You're the Watcher at Kadnua? They said he was a senile hermit.
Adaric clears his throat. You mean Myrwald? Aris killed him. Aris says, Myrwald is dead. Kaidnua is mine now.
Why have you come? Why now?
Aris asks, you can see lost souls like I do?
Yes, I see them. Your butcher's work clings to you.
Adaric's voice is flat, his posture tense. Aris says, I take it, Watchers don't enjoy the best reputation in Reaceras.
Does everyone in the Deerwood boast of their afflictions?
In the brief quiet that follows, Adarik looks very tired, but he does not lower his sword. Arismital asks, You're ashamed. Why?
It's hardly something to be proud of. Look to your own sins, Watcher. I'll not share mine.
Aris says, I can't often read living memories so clearly. That felt like a cipher reading.
I wouldn't know. Perhaps we simply worsen each other's condition.
The prospect seems to trouble Adarik.
What? What is it?
Aris says, I thought all the other Watchers were mad.
That wouldn't bode well for you, would it?
Adarik's tone is irritable, but he watches you with wary interest.
I've a firm grip on my senses, whatever you believe. The Watcher's curse is many things, but if it promised madness, I would not have taken command of the Iron Flail. The memories I saw, some of them couldn't have belonged to you. You're awakened, aren't you?
Aris asks, Are you also awakened?
No, of course not.
Adarik studies you with grim fascination. Aris asks, Do you know a cure? Adarik stares at you. Eventually he gives a slight shake of the head.
It seems a terrible thing to be awakened and a Watcher both. I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. Aris quite enjoys it. Aris says, Enough about that.
Yes, we were in the middle of something, I believe.
Aris says, About our mutual condition.
You've come all this way to indulge your curiosity?
Adarik seems a little relieved at your discretion.
Yes, we were in the middle of something, I believe.
Aris says, I came to find out what happened to the delegates.
The delegates? You tore through my camp, killed my men for them?
Adarik scowls. Aris says, What kind of reaction did you expect? You held them captive without notice.
They'd like to paint us as the unreasonable ones back in Stalwart, wouldn't they? I never planned this. It wasn't my intention. We wanted to negotiate. Stalwart sent delegates to discuss terms of peace. I offered them the opportunity. I was generous.
Adarik paces a few steps before he gets hold of himself.
But Stalwart sent soothsayers, not diplomats, to frighten us with stories of the moon going dark, the earth shaking.
Raving delegate says, It's true. It's all true. The waves will swallow us all. A shrill voice suddenly rises up from the pit. Adarik stomps down angrily on the bars, drowning her out. Wait, why did Stalwart send out someone like this to negotiate? What were they thinking? Aris asks, You don't think you overreacted a little?
Don't play the fool with me. These omens are meant to frighten me, to make me doubt my purpose here. But there is more at stake here than a village in the mountains. They dismiss my faith, call us superstitious. But what does Stalwart believe in? Iron and gold, and nothing else. I have tilled barren fields with my bare hands. What is gold to me?
Adarik looks down at the grate of the cell, eyes flashing with sudden anger. Aris says, perhaps you and I can talk now.
You're nothing more than a mercenary for a village of people unwilling to put their own lives on the line.
Well, I have the army, they don't. So, Aris asks, what do you want with the stalwart, anyway?
We're the village of fishermen, nothing. But they cling fiercely to the forge you gave them. Some of the men are here for gold and good steel, and I promised them their share. But I came for cannons. With the battery's cannons, we can hold the pass. Rayed Saris has suffered enough. Its sons and daughters have nothing.
He looks at Adair, jaw working.
We won't survive an attack from the Deerwood when it comes. Not unless we act. There is an army coming. I've seen it. Pouring down from the mountain. It will crush Stalwart and come for Rayed Saris.
Adaric's gaze is distant.
The iron flail will be the wall that safeguards my homeland from the worst these fire worshippers can bring to bear.
Aris asks, wait, you had a vision of an army?
I warn you, if you think to taunt me, Watcher.
Aris says, I had a vision too. In mine, I saw Kaid Nua reduced to rubble by an army that shook the earth. Doubt creases Adaric's brow. His men exchange looks, waiting tensely for orders.
Why would they turn on their own? No, you're trying to trick me. This is all another distraction.
Aris asks, I remember thunder and 100 eyes gazing back at me. Any of that sound familiar?
The thunder followed me to the temple at Dawn's Reach, and the earth split beneath our feet.
Adaric swallows and looks unsure. Aris says, I thought the Iron Flail might be the army in my own vision. Perhaps we both made a mistake.
Why should I believe any of this? You would say anything at all to protect Stalwart.
Aris asks, you read my soul. What did that tell you?
That you're soft-hearted, but it hasn't seemed to stop you.
Adaric's voice is brittle.
And that you have seen and done a great many things. Things I would not have otherwise believed.
Adaric pauses. Things you wouldn't have otherwise believed. Like slaughtering 2 dragons, of course with an army, and the Archmage Council out. Aris says, we both know something's coming. Maybe 2 watchers can figure out how to stop it. For several moments there is nothing but silence in the cabin. Then you hear the scrape of metal as Adaric takes up his sword, only to lay it flat across his palms.
I led my people here because I believed we were on the right path. I bound my soul to this blade as proof of my surety.
There is a ripple of soul energy in the air. There and gone, Adaric looks pained.
The sword's no good to me now. It's yours, for as long as you can wield it.
Steadfast.
I'll call in our forces from the mountains. Please, give me time to explain. You should speak with Stalwart's messengers. Perhaps you'll get some answers out of them.
All right. So, Aris thought the army in the dream is Iron Flail. Rayed Saran's. Adaric thought the army was Deerwood. Huh. And they're both wrong? Free the prisioneras. Io sono prigioniera.
What's this?
I am your prisoner. Ta-da-ta-da-da. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Ta-da-da. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Dang it, I can't sing. I wish I can sing. Io sono prigioniera. Yeah. Okay, there are 3 delegates. Dwarven delegate says, "Oh, thank you. I thought we'd never get out of there." Aris asks, "Are you hurt?" Dwarven delegate says, No, a little bruise perhaps. The cold was the worst part." Frightened delegate says, "I don't know how you managed to talk that man down. He was practically foaming at the mouth." Dwarven delegate says, "And now he and his men are still skulking around the mountains. I'm not sure letting him live was the best idea." Gruff delegate, "The commander wasn't the problem." One of the delegates points an accusing finger at another, a woman standing apart from the rest. "We might have come to terms if she hadn't goaded him, shouting at him about omens and curses, demanding he leave the march. Oh. You know how superstitious the Reatserans are. The commander went white as a sheet. She sabotaged the meeting. Yeah, that's bad." Raving delegate, "The woman in question is dressed in unassuming robes. She bears the accusation silently, her eyes closed as if in prayer." Aris asks, "Care to explain yourself?" Raving delegate, with desperate speed, the woman suddenly lunges sidelong towards a nearby rack and seizes a dagger lying there. She sets the blade to her own throat. What? Oh, come on, Aris. Couldn't you act quick enough to prevent this from happening? What the heck? Aris, you could have stopped this. Unseen to all but yourself, the dying woman's soul essence coils in thin wisps about her body. It only grows brighter as her corpse stills. The remaining delegates stare in horror at her pooling blood. Frightened delegate asks, What just happened? Gruff delegate says, "Dang it, now we'll never get an answer out of her." Aris asks, "Did they pull your names out of a hat when they put this delegation together?" Dwarven delegate says, "We all volunteered. She seemed perfectly normal, a little intense, maybe." Ah, volunteers. Read the woman's soul. You reach out and brace against the sudden flare of pain and fear, digging after less recent events. There is a copper taste in your mouth, and pain like fire in your throat. Under the brute terror of death, you find a comforting thread of resolve, of satisfaction. In duty fulfilled, you follow it. It leads you stumbling into another memory, as whole and vivid as the first. You walk the dark halls of an abbey, dimly lit and quiet, your footsteps loud, a blur, and you are standing in a dimly lit room, facing a robed Aumaua. You recognize him as Kauto, the High Abbot. He beckons you forward. Examine your surroundings. You are in a wide, rounded chamber. The tiles beneath your feet are covered in strange curling symbols. You recognize them as symbols of Ondra, goddess of sea and memory. The memory blurs. When your sight is clear, you are standing in front of Kauto, and he is smiling gently down at you.
Drive the raid Sarens from these mountains, and you may yet spare many lives.
High Abbot Kauto.
The Tidebringer will be here in a week's time. Should you be delayed in your travels, report to him as you would to me. He will enter the reliquary and call off the army of Ilas in my stead. If you are caught, sister, you know what you must do. I will pray for your return, but we will take comfort in the knowledge that you have joined the rest of Ondra's favored in her keeping.
Kauto sets a hand on your shoulder. So, Kauto sent her on a mission, and if she's caught, she is ordered to take her own life. Kauto said to answer to the Tidebringer as he would answer to Kauto. The fact that this woman committed suicide, the Tidebringer must not be Aris or Adarik, right? The words jar you loose from the memory, flinging you back into the moments of the woman's death, and then into your own skin. But traces of a memory join yours. You know the path to the abbey to which she was to return, buried in the mountains to the north. Aris asks, "Is the name Ilas familiar to anyone?" Graf Delegate says, "The Ilas, they're a figure of speech for when you can't remember something. You say, must be the Ilas took it from me." Frightened Delegate says, yes, but there's a story to it. They're supposed to do the bidding of the Lady of Lament." What is Lady of Lament? Ondra points, and they come, out of nowhere, wipe things from the face of the world. So the Ilas are Ondra's subordinates, or subordinate? Are they singular or plural? That's why whenever something up and goes missing or gets destroyed with no one there to see it, you're supposed to thank Ondra that the Ilas didn't come for you too. Aris asks, "Do you know Kauto? Do you know a Kauto?" Graf Delegate says, "Kauto? Oh yes. He came through town some time back, stopped by at the temple in Stalwart. This was just after the town decided to rededicate it to Abidon. He didn't seem too pleased about it. He was dressed like a priest. Maybe he took offense. He's an Aumaua, tall fellow, very polite, considering he's apparently the leader of some fanatical sect." Dwarven Delegate says, "I think it's clear we haven't been the best judges of character recently." Aris asks, "Do any of you know what a Tidebringer is?" Dwarven Delegate says, "Tidebringer? That's something they used to talk about at the Temple of Ondra, I think. It's a person, a title I mean, tends to be used in the more devout circles." Aris asks, "What about the Ilas? Have you heard of them?" Graf Delegate says, Okay, it repeats. Aris asks, Do you know anything about an abbey to the north? Dwarven delegate says, I've heard of something like that, an Ondrite stronghold, not the kind of place that welcomes visitors. Graf delegate says, is that where she came from? The delegate points to the dead woman. Aris says, yes, and it's where I'll find the reliquary, so I can call off their army. Graf delegate says, what? Another one? Gods, it feels like everyone on Eora is after the battery now. Why would these Ondrites want the Reatserans out? I doubt it's for Stalwart's benefit. Competition, maybe? Aris says, looks like I've fouled up their plans. In any case, Dwarven delegate says, if you do mean to go to this abbey, be careful. There have been stories about traders wandering north and getting scared off or even killed by strange gods. Graf delegate says, they're a secretive bunch. I suppose you could always try to sneak in. I doubt you'll be welcome otherwise. Frightened delegate says, it sounds like this Tidebringer would be. Welcome, I mean. Aris says, maybe I can convince them I'm the one they've been waiting for. Dwarven delegate says, I hope so. I imagine the abbey is heavily guarded. A sudden deafening crash from outside makes the delegate jump. Startled, a rumbling like thunder follows. You hear further sounds of smashing timbers, panicked screaming. Oh, please. Don't tell me it's a scream from... Well, it can't be a scream from Stalwart. Stalwart is far away from this place. Could it be any survivors from this camp? Please, don't let it be the two lovebirds outside. Frightened delegate says, oh no, what's happening? I thought you took care of the soldiers. Aris says, I did. This is something else. Frightened delegate says, yes, well, we'll wait here. Inside. Okay, go hide. I'm serious, go hide. Look at that. Look at that dust and debris. What is happening? Please be careful, says Dwarven delegate. All this time she was lying to us. Yeah, you've been lied to. Frightened delegate says, all this time she was lying to us. Please be careful. All right. What the heck? Survived the ambush? Dang it! Kana says, by all the stars, What is that? This is the same thing that I saw when Aris was having visions after he activated the device on top of the west tower. Huh.
By all the stars, what is that?
Kenna, watch out!
What is this? They're so tough. As the last Mike Folk falls, a tide of essence sweeps through the ether. It washes over you, and you find yourself in the memories of the eyeless. What the heck? The hulking creatures surround you, their sinew-wrapped skeletons clanking and screeching in the semi-darkness. Their bodies fill the air with a tang of metal and the musk of sweat. The cavern in which you stand, it looks like a cavern anyway, glows with a dim ambient light. Steel flashes as the eyeless shift and stir. They stamp their feet and groan in rasping metallic voices. Their restless energy prickles at the back of your neck. And in the echoing rumble you hear something familiar. It's the pounding noise from your dream, the harbinger of a terrible army. You begin to wonder how many eyeless are crowded around you. You suspect there must be scores of them, maybe more. It's difficult to tell how far back this chamber goes or where it is. Ahead you see a glint of light. It might be an exit. Already, however, the vision is starting to fade. Explore further into the chamber. You push past the lumbering eyeless and cling to the wilting shreds of the vision. The cavern broadens before you. It swells with echoes until you hear the growling, grinding sounds of the eyeless all around. You pull yourself onto a crystalline outcropping and survey the expanse of blunt heads and piston arms. There aren't scores of them, there are hundreds. Look at that, filling up the cave. The vision ends, returning you to the frozen and blood-churned mud of the fort. Dang it. Adarik appears to have taken some blows. There's a purpling bruise along his temple, and his armor is dented in several places. He looks rather dazed.
Those things, they came from all sides. The delegate... No, you were right. The visions are true.
Adarik looks you over.
You fought well. And I am glad to see you've come through in one piece, even if I regret the loss of my men. I'll take what's left of our forces. Those that will follow me further up the mountain. We should be prepared when those monsters return.
Aris says we can defeat them if we work together.
I have seen already that there is little you can't accomplish.
Adarik bows his head and turns to the road.
Those things sure seemed angry for something that's got no face.
Okay, what about the lovebirds? Are they alright?
Yes?
Where are they? Oh, please don't tell me they're dead. So Adarik survived the battle with the eyeless too. So he's good, yeah? He's good. I can't find the lovebirds. I hope they're safe. I hope they managed to escape.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
That startled me, really.
Top quality bear pelts on every...
We've got to build up our walls while there's still time.